Fourth strategy. Now, just so you know, this started off with only 4 strategies. And then I told Lala, I said, well, there's going to be a fifth. And she's like, okay. Then we meet this morning and she's like, well, what's the fifth? You didn't write it down. Oh, you hold on for the fifth. But let's get to the fourth. All right. Focus on the future. So this is about using, so we've done a few things, right? We're talking about a physical object with a physical board. We've done this idea of just your heart, making sure you're a soft space for you to land. We've talked about writing something down. I love the power of writing. Now we want to use our minds. So we've used our hearts, we used our vision, we've written, now we got to use our minds in a different way. We have to use our vision and our imagination and our ability to daydream. How many of you daydream? Let us know. Let me know. You can let me know by just putting a thumbs up. Thumbs up this video if you daydream. I am a big daydreamer, and in my daydreaming, there's different ways to daydream. How many of you have ever done this? You've gotten upset, you've gotten into an argument with your significant other, a friend, a teacher, a professor, a student, a colleague, or someone like that, and you have then rehearsed the argument that you are going to have in your mind. Tell me who's done that. I know I've done it. I know I have been upset with a friend, and I remember, like, I mean, especially middle school, man. Middle school was like a time. I remember being upset with a friend, and in middle school, I would be like, all right, this is what I'm about to say. And then they say this is what I'm going to say next. And if they say this is what I'm going to say next. And I'd just be ready for this argument. I'd be ready. I'd be rehearsed. I am ready to go. So, and then how many times have you done it and then you've said some of those things, like you hit it up? I mean, a perfect example of that, I mean, okay, we get it. We've done it, right? Well, okay, so that means one, you have the ability to daydream. You also have the ability to rehearse and manifest something into your life. So what if you start using that daydreaming to manifest the kinds of new experiences that you want? So what do I mean by that? You have a new partner that you want, and you haven't met them yet, but you just want them, right? You a new energy. Start talking to them. Imagine having a conversation with a partner that meets your needs. What does that conversation sound like? Just see yourself having it. The same energy that you had to do that argument, put that same energy into seeing what a beautiful, positive, and healthy conversation feels like with your partner. Maybe you want some new friends, right? And you're like, well, what will that be like? See it. Instead of, remember, seeing how you were going to figure out how you want to fight or strategize something, move that over to what's it going to be like to speak to my new friend? And what kind of activities are we going to do? And how are we going to laugh? And how are we going to interact with each other? How are we going to physically interact and engage with each other? See it, imagine it, just daydream and have a great time doing it. Here's another good example. Maybe it's a new job. How is it going to feel and feel the things too? So you have a new job. What does that new job feel like? Right? Maybe the whole idea right now is that you are trying to cultivate peace. Or maybe it's a business and you're trying to cultivate this aspect of your business. See it. See what it looks like. Feel it. Have those conversations. So really use your imagination to daydream really that future. Because the thing is, what we don't admit, a lot of times we don't daydream the future as much as we should, especially in specificity of what we want. So use that time. One of my favorite things to do is essentially have those conversations. But this is kind of funny. And my friend just told me this. It's a good story. My friend was saying that they had a dream, right? That they did something, and they did this whole process. They did something, and then at the end of the dream, they get punched, right? And after going through that whole process in that dream, they get punched. They're just like, I'm about to do that. And sure enough, they got up and they did the thing. They did not get punched though. But what's interesting is that was kind of like the worst case scenario, that if I do this, I'm going to get punched. And so they gauged it and they were like, you know what? Got it. And they went and did it. And they were successful as far as what their goal was. But it's so important that we are exactly. Does anyone here make a habit of daydreaming intentionally, not just by accident? Because a lot of us daydream by accident. And that's where we are not really paying attention to our mind. So having conscientious time to daydream in a healthy way is really what I'm saying.